My wife cheated on me with her boss. I need some advice. I'm torn up inside and I don't know what to do. My wife and I have been together for 16 years, married for 7, and have 2 children. We've gone through tough times, ups and downs. The typical struggles I found out a few days ago that she cheated on me. She slept with her boss on 3 separate occasions and has been texting him and still wanting him up until the time I found out. She says she made the biggest mistake of her life and thinks she doesn't deserve me anymore after what she's putting me through. The problem is I still love her. Our marriage had gone stale for quite some time. After a huge fight about 4 or 5 months ago, I told her maybe we should separate. We are clearly only together for the kids at this point. Right, this may have been the biggest mistake of my life. It changed how we saw each other. And I only said it to hurt her at the time. Fast forward to 10 days ago. And I got blackout drunk, got lost in an unfamiliar town. We were in for a wedding. I started calling her, screaming at her, and texting some pretty bad stuff. I thought this was a rock bottom. I felt we were extremely close to splitting up. And it changed how I felt about her. I started to realize that I always took her for granted. And now I know I desperately didn't want to lose her. I fell in love with her on a deeper level than ever before and vowed to make major changes in my life to be closer with her. And she agreed. A week or so later, I found out she was cheating on me with her boss. It had been 3 months since it started, and he broke it off with her about a month ago. After getting a new girlfriend, she told him we were separated and divorcing. I don't see him as doing much wrong. She was still trying to have sex and be with him. Up until I found out a few days ago, the problem I have is that I'm still madly in love with her. I don't know if I can bear not being with her. But I don't want her coming back to me if she doesn't fully want to, if she has needs that I can't meet. Then fine, I would agree to a divorce. I have asked her, do you know what you want? Do you want to still have fun with other men while you're young, 33, or do you truly want me back? She says she doesn't know if she wants me back or not, because she knows I will always look at her differently now, but I suspect she is. Addicted to the high of being with a new man, and the rush of it all, keeps saying she doesn't deserve me, and wonders why I would take her back when she hurt me so badly. But I had this suspicion that she wants other men, but doesn't want to be the one who breaks it off. I don't know what to do. I feel like I've lost my identity, and I'm just the shattered remains of a man who used to have a great life. Let's get some community reactions. First up from Accomplished Ferret 70. I'm sorry, Opie, you asked your wife to choose between the commitments she already made to you or sleeping around, and she chose sleeping around. You said she wonders why you'd take her back. She knows you would be ill-advised to do so because she isn't going to stop chasing the D-Jard. 52757 says, the problem I have is that I'm still madly in love with her. Dogs are madly in love with the taste of anti-freeze foot improvement. 7,624 chimes. And you love the idea of what you want her to be, not what she really is. She straight up told you she wanted to be with her boss, but he dumped her. So she is just going back to her safety net until either the boss changes his mind or someone new comes along. Cheaters cry and say they don't deserve you because they want you to be the one to end it, because they don't have the balls or the emotional maturity to end something themselves, which is why they cheated in the first place. They like their cake and they like to eat it too. Ending things means being a responsible adult, but cheaters don't know how to be responsible. The moment she decided to cheat on you was the moment she decided to see you differently. You've been living a lie, my friend. You don't love her. You're just scared to be alone. But the truth is that you're better off without her update, aftermath of trying to heal, but ended up with more BS from the affair partner. Now, this is an update from my original post I made a month ago. You can view it on my page. Sorry for it being so long. So after D-Day, 2 months ago, I came to terms and really understood my worth and why chase a cheater the first month. I was really depressed and confused. I never felt like this before and wished I had a time machine to fast forward because the pain and thoughts would haunt me. I wasn't eating, I couldn't sleep, and I wasn't motivated. I wanted to speak to her. Even though what she did was bad, I obviously really loved her and wanted to get some closure. At least my dumb self was texting her a lot the first few days, telling her I'm sorry if I didn't hold her hand too much or bought her flowers every week or something. She didn't really text back, she only texted back on her own time, and was annoyed a few days later she wanted to meet up and talk. And we did. I was excited. And also scared she basically didn't talk about her cheating. She went and talked about how I didn't treat her with the love she wanted, that I didn't like to kiss her in public. And she wished we had the honeymoon stage still even after 3 years. She said it was toxic and that she gave up on herself and needs time to love herself. I'm hearing what she has to say, but she's not talking about the cheating. She still said I was overreacting, and it was nothing. I seen also that day she also had already changed her phone password, which was our date, and changed her lock screen photo of us to something else. After all, that I was still curious about her, but she again didn't like talking with me. For some reason I would tell her how I was depressed, can't sleep and eat. I said all those and she told me, see, now you know how I felt like 24/7. I don't want to sound like an a-hole and say that she's lying about her emotions. But she was always hyper happy playing her video games, and then loving me later every day. She seemed normal to me. And others she went on to tell me, at least I have a place to stay, because I kicked her out for cheating, and she's supposedly sleeping in her car at parking lots. I told her, and also my parents told her, that she can sleep in a different room at our house because it's dangerous. Outside alone in a parking lot, she refused and said she's fine. I knew her day off and told her let's meet again to at least sit down and talk. But she refused and said not to text her that day because she's going to be sleeping all day and needs rest that day comes. And I don't believe she would be resting, so I ended up finding a video of her in the affair partner 3 states away at an event. I was again hurt the same day. Also, someone drove past the front burner's house and saw her car there. So she had been staying with him this whole time, instead of her lies about sleeping in her car in a parking lot. She told me the parking lot she would sleep at, and I never seen her car there either. So I finally accepted it and moved on with so much pain throughout the month of her getting her belongings. She always had the affair partner in his car down my street and acted like we didn't see him. Even after what she did to me, I was still taking care of her pets, until one day I had enough of doing good things for her. While she had the time of her life with the affair partner, I told her to get the rest of your stuff and leave me alone. She got upset and again bashed me for not ever helping her, and that I never did anything for her, even threatening to bring me to court if I found a better home for the pet. She continued to talk crap to me and then switched her attitude and begged me to watch the pet. If I loved her, I said no. And she got pissed again, calling me names. She ended up getting the pet with the affair partner. Next month she moved in with her mum, and all of a sudden I started getting messages from her on a different account, begging and saying she was sorry, saying that she's ready to get back together and wants to fix things now, and that she also has no relationship with the affair partner, but she said they still talk. She literally said please 1,000,000 times. In every message I ignored her, because at this point I turned my sadness into anger and motivation. I also knew she was probably saying all this because she was sleeping by herself this time, watching our pets having to search for a place to live and could be using me to help her. She was still with the affair partner, by the way. This went on for a month. She made fake accounts, emailed me, and tried to reach out to my friends saying she was depressed. Even had her siblings message me saying, how can I just ignore her and throw it all away? Now after her getting a place, she went completely silent, kind of weird. It's been weeks of silence, and I felt like I could really move on, until today I got a message from the affair partner. I was annoyed when I've seen that I opened it, and the affair partner was talking crap, saying that I should be upset, how he wants to hurt me for hurting and abusing her every day for years. Excuse me, I never physically abused her every day. Like you said, I'm not that type of person. I have sisters and would not like a man to mistreat them. He called me names, even saying he knows where I live and has so much info about me. He also mentioned even though he was young, he was more mature than me. He also bragged about being with her and getting laid. I was more pissed about her telling him lies, that I was an abuser. And that's all I did to her for years, mind you. I live with my parents and siblings, and they can vouch for me, and they seen firsthand everything. They were also shocked and pissed and knew how good we were when we were together. I told him respectfully, like a grown-up, to just leave it alone, move on with her, and that she's been messaging me to try again with me for a whole month. He didn't care about that. He continued to talk crap, threatened me, and bragged to me. Even though I'm young, I stay away from social media. I don't like the immature drama, and I prefer keeping a relationship to myself. Instead of showing it off for everyone, I have what they call an old soul. It's just crazy to me that I was with a quiet, fun girl who I thought loved me. We had marriage plans, had our future kids' names, already had so much fun together. To a person who lies about me, for her to get sympathy from her others, and possibly putting my family, myself in danger. I don't understand how after 2 months of moving on, the affair partner messaged me out of nowhere, bashing me and bragging to me. I completely ignored, blocked her for over a month. Friends told me my ex started sharing posts, throwing shade at me, sharing posts of how she's being treated better in a short amount of time versus 3 years, which happens to be the amount of time we were together. I'm still moving on, but I feel like there's always something going on. Edit. Another reason why she felt like she didn't see the relationship working is because I refused to move out with her into an apartment while we had a whole finished basement to ourselves, rent-free. And I always mentioned to her that it felt very early to move on like that. Together, another thing is, every time before I would tell her maybe we should split, she would get very emotional and say that she had nowhere to go. And if I left her, she would kill herself while holding pills in her hand all the time now. She's freely walked away with no emotion or suicide threats. When I kicked her out, we've got some more reactions from the Community Life Yogurt Closet 98 says, never measure your worth on a cheater's morality. JH daughter chimes in, just ignore the BS and let her throw shade. She's only doing it to suck you back in. She is a reactive abuser. They feel they have the poster probably meant power when they can get you to react to their BS, just block the affair partner. If anyone believes her lies, then they don't deserve your time or energy as well. Ashley Black 86 says, you need to go to the police and let them know about the threats. You also need to send a cease and desist loader to your ex for slander. Spreading false rumors can really affect your life in every way. While it's difficult to prove this, a letter from a lawyer can potentially get her to shut up. These people are harassing you. And if I were you, I would have gone to the authorities. Like yesterday, they start begging for you back when you're no longer their chew toy again with the sob story. It's all a bunch of lies to try to get you back under her control. As soon as you show any sign of weakness towards them, they sink their teeth right back into you. This poor sucker and affair partner is falling for her lies. And bees let him have her. You don't need that in your life, like you said, Opie. You're young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Time to find a real woman, and to want that honeymoon stage all the time, that's not reality. Yes, you can be totally and madly head over heels for someone every day of your life. And don't let that change, but to avoid everything else in life. And to look at all the things through rose-colored glasses. This just isn't the way life works. We have to grow up. Eventually, we have to be adults even when it comes to love. What do you think?